Hi everyone, this is Miss Bella, and we're going to talk about visualization today and what that looks like when we create different PowerPoint presentations, Google Slides, whatever it may be for our students as we continue virtually with them, or also for some of our virtual PDs that we've been doing. So looking at this slide, does this look good? Is your thoughts, are they great about this, or are your eyes like mine and they're screaming at me to please look away because this hurts? This is not a good example of what we want our slides to look like. There are too many font choices, the bright color, the yellow and the red, the pictures are overwhelming, and just all of the text on it. We don't need to have this much text with it. And this, if you're going to present something like this to your students, I guarantee you they're going to feel overwhelmed. They're not going to know where to look, and they're not going to understand what the point is that you are trying to get across to them. Moving forward, keeping that in mind, we want to choose fonts that are easy for them to read. And if you choose to do a background color, something that is easy and that is not going to interfere with the text and the font or any graphics you choose to put in. Content, keeping it simple. We want to use familiar language and vocabulary, and we don't want to overwhelm the learner. If you think back to that yellow slide, there was a ton of text on there. It was rambling nonsense. And if I was a learner and was reading that, I would feel very overwhelmed. Keep in mind, the simpler the better. Really, less is more. You want to be the one doing the presenting and the talking, so put little points on these presentations and then do it so you can be presenting to your students and they're learning from you. Otherwise, they might look like this friend over here in this picture because they're not going to be interested and they're not going to know where to look and what to follow because it's going to be so overwhelming. Images are wonderful. We learn best through graphics. However, if you have slides like this where they are full of it, it's too much, it's too overwhelming. My brain right now is trying to figure out where I need to focus and what I'm supposed to be looking at. So with images, we need to keep them few and far between, but make sure that you're intentionally choosing an image that actually ties into what point you're trying to get across and teach. In conclusion, when creating these presentations, we need to remember our audience. We need to keep in mind that we learn best through graphics and pictures. Those are key. Those are what are going to stick out the most from our presentations with our students. Be selective in your content. You can discuss the content with them, but you do not need to present all of that content in text form on these presentations. Don't overwhelm the viewer or the learner, and then make sure that all parts of the presentation are visually appealing. Keep it simple. Really, less is more when doing this, and make sure that you remember that so you don't put out slides for them that look like our first slide that we looked at.